got a request to do a review of a Vie-Long horsehair brush that I had sitting up over here, and I thought, well, that would be a good idea to talk about brushes in general. This isn't going to be a shaving video per se, because I'm not going to shave, although I need to shave, and maybe I'll do a video later on shaving today, who knows. But horsehair brushes, I don't think there's a whole lot of talk about them here lately. I think early on we talked a lot about horsehair. There was a lot of myths and various inaccurate information about horsehair. Used to be a lot of brushes were horsehair back around the turn of the century, until the Spanish flu outbreak, and there was a certain disease infection that was brought about through some horsehair products, like what they thought shaving brushes were. So there was a lot of countries that just banned the use, manufacture, the sale of horsehair shaving brushes, and so they kind of went out of popularity, just kind of due to sanitation techniques and things like that. There's really no risk to that. A horsehair brush is sort of a happy medium between a traditional boar brush, which would be something kind of like this. You know, it's just pig hair, boar hair, and they're stiffer. It's a natural fiber. Therefore, any brush that you've got that's got a natural fiber, such as badger, bear, boar, horse, it's got to be soaked. And I'm going to soak this right now. It's got to be saturated with water, otherwise you're going to break off the fibers if you don't get them engorged with water so that they're flexible. Now there's the synthetics. Synthetics have kind of taken over the world of shaving soap brushes, and very, very popular. This is, the Plisson. My initial impressions of the Plisson was it was okay, but as I've used it more and more, I really like the Plisson for daily use, just because you can use it. It doesn't take long to clean it, and you can get on, move out, and it works pretty well with just about any type of product that you want to use. When you get to badger hair, there's all kinds of grades of badger hair. Probably the most expensive one I have is this I can't remember what it was. Scott Paskevich made this for me in my tribute to my passed on wife Rhonda. And this knot, man, it was, I don't know, $150 just for the knot, something like that. And really, in as far as I can tell, the difference between a knot like this and a knot like maybe something like this, which is a golden nib, 2-band finest, maybe, or just a regular standard silver tip. There's not a whole lot of difference between the two. But getting back to the horsehair, got some soap sitting here. One of the things with horsehair is that it'll work good with a lot of different types of products. It doesn't quite have the same building and bite of a boar hair brush, but it does pretty good. The issue comes in later on in the care of them. You can see it works pretty good lather. Okay, a lot of people have they say that there's a swirl that creates in the middle, a hole that comes in the middle of some horsehair brushes. And they can if you don't take care of them. So you can see it works up a good lather. Here, I use it. Put some in this bowl here. You can use it to mix in a bowl too. It does real good. And I'm swirling it both directions. There's no hole created in this. Now why is that? A lot of people say there becomes a hole. The hole of death in the middle of a brush. And in fact, Jeff Anderson gave me this brush many moons ago because he had problems with it, and he didn't want to just take the time to mess with caring for it. And I can understand that. Some people just don't want to mess with caring for the brush. Let me get this lather off. But it's just like any brush, you've got to take care of it. Each brush is unique in how you use it, what it does for you. Now, okay, we're finished. We're done shaving. Clean it. Just rinse it off with warm water. The way I do it, I'm not going to tilt down and show you. I'll describe it. I hold it like this, and I just put the stream of water underneath the knot so that the water pressure isn't pushing open the knot, but there's water flowing through it all. Now I bring it up like this, and then I just shake it out. I feel with my fingers to see if there's any residue, and I look. And I look and see, okay, are there things clumping? Well, if you look at that, okay, I'm seeing there's stuff clumping in there. So that tells me that I've still got some soap residue in there. Because for the most part, when you're cleaning a brush, when you look at the fibers around the top and the edge, if you see any soap residue, if it's any shining, you think, okay, there's still some in it. This one, although it's the type of hair it is, horsehair will clump a little bit more than others. But this looks like it's pretty good. The first thing I do is I just take a towel, I dry off the handle, and I just put it in my hands, and I just do this a little bit. Regardless of what kind of brush I got. That's the first thing I do. I just do that. Okay. Now I look at it. No holes. Okay. Now what happens when you have the hole of death in the middle of a brush? Many times it could be because it's an inexpensive brush. There's not as much fibers packed through. But with a horsehair, because it's a little bit thinner natural fiber, and just the nature of it, it tends to bend and flex a little bit. You got a brush that develops that hole. What you need to do is get you a comb, and then just kind of put it in and comb through that brush. Now as I'm doing that, I'm feeling a little bit of resistance, so there could be some fibers down in there that are twirling around, twisting around, that would cause that brush to begin to create that hole. And then I just do that all the way around. Didn't lose any fibers. And that's it. I let it air dry. One thing that I do sometimes on brushes, if a brush, and I do that particularly with my board hair brushes, that sometimes that clumpiness as they dry becomes more of an issue. I will take a hair dryer and I'll put it on low and I will just start fluffing it. And it's hard for me to do it because my cord won't reach. But I just hold it in the stream and I just do this. Gently put some air. You can do it with a fan. Don't want to do it with hot, but I just do that like that. Kind of begin the drying process a little bit. And that allows me to shape that brush, particularly the natural fiber ones that are a little less capable due to how they're constructed and their density and all those things of getting back into a nice even dried state. And some look at that. But the Vie-Long, I can't remember the name always on this Cachurro brush. It's a nice brush. I think it's about $25 maybe. I can't remember. And then you got the issue, do you dry them up? Do you dry them down? I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference. I just put it in there and let it dry. I've got another horsehair brush. This was the $2.50 horsehair brush. It's not as dense. And you can see it's kind of getting ready to do that. And when you use this, it will have a little bit of a hole in the middle just because this is not as dense a knot as some. But works good. Regardless of what kind of brush you use, you just have to learn what's best with that brush to take care of it. Horsehair is a good fiber. Some people really prefer them. I like a wide variety of different fiber brushes. I have my favorites. I have ones that work better for me in different situations. Ones that have some sentimental reason that I pick up more often. It just and probably in the total scope of things, I need to thin my herd out and get rid of some. Same way I need to thin my herd out of my razors, but I just don't. Maybe sometime I will. But that's it. Just as a brief little postscript. Haven't heard anything about the promotion yet. It's still open. They're still working on it, so who knows? Here in the United States, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving. I got my ham and my turkey thawing out in my refrigerator. Gonna have a whole bunch of people over. So I hope you have a good holiday here in the United States. Everybody be safe. Have good shaves. Try very hard to be happy. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.